So how do I deal with stress? Well, thanks for asking, Kyle. I turn it into anxiety. So I'm sitting here and I'm really not sure what to talk about this week, but I did just notice that Wilson's Heart just came out for the Oculus Rift. Wilson's Heart is a first-person horror game that takes place inside the Oculus Rift using the touch motion controllers, and it looks really cool. But here's the thing about Oculus Rift, and why I'm not so excited about this game anymore, is that I've been learning some things about me by playing virtual reality games. One is anything that allows you to move in VR will instantly make me motion sick. Now, I'm not really one to get car sick, but when I am playing virtual reality stuff, I do get super motion sick and I can't play for long periods of time. There's some games on the Oculus Rift like Chronos and Esper and Edge of Nowhere, and they seem like really fun games that I wish I've played more with, but whenever you start moving around too much, I start to get a little motion sick. Now, Chronos actually handles this by making the camera stationary, but I can still only play for a certain amount of time before it's just like, I can't focus on this and I need to get up and stretch my legs and move around. So that's the first problem with virtual reality games, is anyone that allows you to move is going to make me motion sick. There's a crazy game called Ripcoil, which is basically like cyberpunk frisbee. And it's super fun, but you stand on a hover pad and you lean left and right to go flying left or go flying right on the screen. And when you do that, I want to throw up so fast. The scary part about that game is it's like an episode of Sword Art Online where you try to figure out how to leave and there's literally no button to quit. So I had to take off the headset and then go to my computer, cancel the game manually. But then the Oculus Touch controllers came out, and then we started to get games that were still stationary because you can't really move in VR. You started getting games like Superhot VR where you would stand still and people would come to you, and then you would fight with them that way. So I would use things like a sword, and I would slice someone or stab someone, or a gun, and I would try to shoot someone and realize really fast, I don't know how to use a gun. I have to like look down the sight in VR through the thing and then hope that like my eye actually lines up correctly so I can shoot someone. And that's way more challenging in virtual reality than it ever has been in any like actual video game with a controller. But the bigger problem with these games is you are committing acts of violence upon people, but then those people are coming right at you to commit acts of violence upon you. It's the whole difference between just watching something versus having someone get in your face and threaten you. I feel like Superhot's a great game, and I would love to play more Superhot. I just don't like people getting in my personal space, especially like violently. That's problematic to me. And despite knowing that it is a video game, having those people at me just makes me super uncomfortable, and I do not want to play any of it. There's a really cool game called Robo Recall, where basically it's a wave shooter. You can pull shotguns over your shoulder, you can grab guns from your pockets that are just like rifles or pistols. I don't know what guns are. I'm not really good at guns. But then these robots will come at you, and you either got to shoot them, or if they come too close, you can like rip their head off. And basically, it's just like a horde mode of robots running towards me and making me feel super uncomfortable. And this is all really cool in a way, that virtual reality is at that point to where it makes me feel things that I would never have with a video game. Just the idea of that sense of being super uncomfortable or motion sick at like flying through space is totally natural and such a human thing to feel that most video games up until this point have done a terrible job of portraying to me. But I think the bad part about this is I want to play these games, but my body, my head just will not allow it. It makes me super uncomfortable, which is why playing a game like Wilson's Heart, which is a first-person horror game, does not sound appealing to me at any price, let alone the $40 price tag it costs. I will say though, there are things in virtual reality that make me feel incredibly good. There's a game called King Spray Graffiti. And the thing about King Spray Graffiti is It allows you to graffiti places in virtual reality using realistic paint can simulations. And so VR has these things that make me feel things. Full stop. Which is something you don't get in a lot of apps or a lot of games. But it also makes me feel super uncomfortable for a lot of things. So it's a whole different medium for pulling me into a world. And with these different mediums, I need to adjust my expectations. Selling Oculus Rift to me as a gaming platform may not be what is necessarily right for me. Selling Oculus Rift to me as an experience platform where I can watch movies, or build creative content, or take a trip somewhere virtually is probably way more of an accurate thing for me, because I don't like people getting in my face. Hey Kyle, what's your favorite experience? Let me know. And until next time, you'll be fine. Probably.